From what we know about Mr. Zamperini personally, he seems almost superhuman, so I'm real curious. What did you take away from meeting with him?
I kind of learnt to not use that term too much around him. I think the key in our film, I think it's key to watch our film aware that Louis is merely human, capable of extraordinary feats, but we all are. In Louis's case, I guess he was forced to the feats that he found himself eventually capable of. But we're not at any point suggesting that he was ever too sure about this. And that's the Louis I met. Was a very unassuming, humble chap who was adored by his family, who I also know now. And a devoted father, husband, grandfather, and charismatically so as well. So yeah, it was key for me to meet him and be able to at least verify all of these factors in his character and his persona. And I felt like by the time I got to Australia, I knew him. I knew him well enough to make decisions on his behalf. And I felt like I had his certification as well. He gave me that on our second meeting. I shook his hand, I promised him that he was in good hands with me, and he said that he knew. So that meant I could believe myself then, you know.
I'll tell you this, watching the film and having read about his life, watching the film and looking at you, I saw him. How did you become him?
Like I say, I just had to know him. I felt like I had to at least connect with him once. And the rest was, you know, a result of Laura Hillenbrand's very informative book, novel, based on him. Probably shouldn't call it a novel, it's a biography. And so I wasn't short of resource, you know, when Angelina knew him. So she constantly was able to refer back to the man himself, and we could make decisions based on whether we thought that was Louis or wasn't Louis, basically. And yeah, I guess that was down to the preparation. I could approach the set feeling loaded.
How important do you think his faith was to his life?
Well, in our story, he's still questioning in all of that. I think in terms of post Unbroken, I think that, I guess, it enabled him to forgive. So it was vital to him. I met a man that was very devout to his religion. But then he didn't judge others that seen it differently, you know. He was very open-minded like that. But I think the ability to forgive perhaps enabled him, you know, to live to the age of 97 with a sense of contempt. And that's a long time to carry a hatred for, you know. So I was very grateful that he was able to shed that. And I aspire to the same, you know, one day. I don't think it's an easy attribute to acquire. But he demonstrates that, and he does demonstrate that it is possible. So important.